October Thursday.
This is a regular board meeting of Tatum ISD. It is now 5:30 p.m. on August 9th, 2021, and we have a quorum. Mr. Skinner, will you lead us in the pledge of allegiance? And Mr. Adams, will you give the invitation?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
O most gracious, eternal, everlasting God, we come to life and Father, you are God and God alone. I suppose say thank you, O God, for this opportunity to review us of the days you brought us to, Father. We just pray, O God, as we go through our meeting this evening, Father, all things be done decently well. Pray, O God, you continue to lead us, guide us, and direct us in all that we say and do. Yes, Lord, especially in the Son Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Amen. Evening, Jim.
The Tatum ISD Board of Trustees invites our community to speak during our public meetings. Please know that this is a listening opportunity for the board. No action will be taken during this meeting. All comments shared with the board during this portion of the meeting. Person wishing to address the board shall sign up prior to the beginning of the meeting and shall indicate the topic about which they wish to speak. The board asks that each participant comments pertain to district business and be no longer than 3 minutes. The board has adopted complaint policies that are designed to secure at the lowest possible administrative level a prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns for employees, students, or their parents, and the general public. See board policies BGBA, FNG, and GF. Policies and procedures for filing complaints may be found in the Tatum ISD Administration Building. I need a motion to approve the consent items as presented. Minutes of the regular board meeting of June 14th, 2021. Western Crass Retainer Agreement 2021-2022. Local Policy Update 117. Appraisers and Appraisal Calendar for 2021-2022. Student Code of Conduct 2021-22. Region 7 ESC 2021-22. Service Agreement and the District Lunch Prices for school year 2021-2022.
And that's a motion to approve.
Ms. Levy has made a motion. Mr. Skinner made a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries unanimously. Reports.
The first report we have is to change the dates of the 2021 school board meetings because we have some holidays. Just to kind of let you know that October the 3rd, we're going to move that up to October the 4th due to a fall break that we're on. And then March 14th being spring break, the day before my birthday, we're going to move that one up to March 7th. So the October meeting will be October the 4th, and the March meeting will be March 7th. It'll be the first Monday in October and first Monday in March. And I will send you a reminder on that as well. Okay? Next item that I have, again, I believe this has been sent out, but just to kind of give you a little background on our STAR comparison data that we recently have. This particular one is comparing basically the statewide scores from 19 to 21. You'll recall we did not have a 20 test. So over here on the right-hand column, basically will show where the state is, what went down, how much it went down. Green is pretty much where it went up across in the state. And again, these are state scores. So overall, as we all know, we knew the state scores were dropping. So the next item that we have right here is basically how we compared to the state. And I'll have another chart to show you not only state, but also region. So when you look at approaches, which is passing, we're well above the state in passing rates. Then meets and masters. There's some areas, but again, nothing too out there that we really kind of are worried about right now when we're looking at just Tatum ISD versus the state schools. The next item that I have is, what do you want to know about just our last scores in 19s or our scores in 21? So you can kind of tell, just like the state scores, they pretty much went down. Math across the board in the state of Texas is low. And so this is just and a lot of people can look at this, and this is what I told the principals. Don't get discouraged by this, because we've been this low before in a non-COVID year. And so I have no doubt that we can continue to bring these up, but this is our benchmark. This is what we're looking at. This is where we need to improve. We're not going to compare ourselves to state, the region. I want to compare ourselves to ourselves. But you've got to realize that a lot of kids missed almost a half a semester when they went out in March of 20. And then the following year, just trying to catch people up. So we've got a lot of work cut out for us, but I'm not saying that we can't do it, because we will do it. There's a lot of things that have been put into place. As you all know, we were told testing does not count. Well, the legislators met and they said, well, it doesn't count, but it does count. Any kid that does not pass a STAR or EOC test has to go for 30 hours of tutoring. So if you're in the 8th grade and you don't pass social studies, reading, math, science, you got 2 hours a week, basically an hour per subject, that you're going to get some extra assistance. We all know kids are not going to come after school. The state of Texas also stated that you cannot opt out of this. So if you had a kid, my kid had a bad day, even though GPA-wise they're fine, but decided not to, apply themselves because the state said, hey, the scores don't count. I can't opt my kid out. If we did tutoring after school, truancy comes into play. No way around it. You got to send your kids. Kids have got to attend. So we're putting some things into place. The state also said it needed to be 3 students per teacher, or you can have the parents waive that. And so we're checking boxes, and hopefully the parents are waiving that, because the only other option is that they stay late on an afternoon, or they come in on a Saturday. There is a district in the Metroplex, very large district. It's public known, been well known, Dallas ISD. I'm not telling you anything you couldn't look up. 78% of either their 7th graders or 8th graders fail math. That's a big district that you're going to have to do some remediation on. So when you've only got 30-something% or 22% of your kids that pass, I'd have to say we're in a pretty good position.
And what you're saying, there's 30 hours per subject.
That is correct.
If they fail.
And it doesn't make a lot of sense, because when you take an 8th grade social studies test, the next time they take a history test is when they're juniors. State didn't think this through very well. And so, again, we have people down in Austin who don't always get all the facts straight and all this. It was just going to be reading and math, but then they threw in all tested subjects. So my concern is, if you're a high school student and takes an EOC and does not pass an EOC now, but you don't have to pass that EOC to graduate. However, you got to come back. If you fail 2 EOCs and you got to spend 2 hours a week, if you can't get it in during the week, I'm worried about dropout rates. Not necessarily for us, but I see that what we're starting requiring schools to do across the state of Texas, I think our dropout rates are fixing to just go through the roof. Because you got that one kid who, you tell me I got to come in on Saturdays for 2 hours because I didn't pass that one, I didn't pass that one. I think it's not good. So we'll see how this plays out down the road.
Will we have to pay the teachers for those extra 2 hours?
Absolutely, absolutely. Or you can hire, but there's nobody to hire. And so we're gonna have to pay our teachers to do this either on the weekends or after school, or we can build it in, and that's what our principals are trying to do right now, is they're changing all the master schedules up and build in a tutorial time. You can't, if a kid is going to athletics, band, PE, recess, everybody gets to go. You cannot pull from recess, PE, or any other class.
So they have like the equal time.
They have Eagle time where everybody's getting intervention, you're good to go. So, you know, we talked to the teachers today at convocation. That was one of the things I mentioned to them. You know, y'all, you've had a pretty year and a half of pretty tough stuff, and now we're being told you got to catch these kids up. And I think we do a good job of catching kids up. We RTI, we get them in tiers. We know which kids need it and what they need. But now the state is saying, you got to do it this way. This is based off Houston ISD. There is 2 senators down in the Houston area, and they were upset because Houston ISD was trying to be taken over by TEA, and Houston ISD fought. And so they said, well, this is what we're going to make you do now. And this model's great if you're a low-performing district year after year after year, and you refuse to do anything to catch kids up, then yeah, this hold their feet to the fire and do this. But when you're a district that has been performing well and has a track record of turning things around, I don't think this model fits everybody. And I'm just speaking on behalf of us, because you know that we've made great strides with our testing, and we can get kids caught up. I just worry that, again, I'm worried about Tatum ISD kids, but I'm also worried about the other kids in the state too, that this is going to just make dropouts go.
All right, this time when you're doing the catch-up work, the other kids that are not doing catch-up work, what do they do?
They have to be an intervention, either an extension of the activity, maybe a higher level group projects, and the teacher could be working with, you know, the 4 of us.
They can't be like being tutored in a UIL competition or something.
No, sir. Because I need, the 4 of us need that same opportunity to go to UIL. It basically has to be either after school, or you have an intervention that everybody goes to intervention somewhere or somehow during the days.
That's true.
Now, next year, we can catch these kids for summer. We'll have the school test back, and we can get them enrolled in summer for the 30 hours. It's just right now, everybody's scrounging around. This is across the state. TEA realizes this is a beast. We found out in June that we were going to have to do this. And so, fun times.
It's gonna be a teacher one.
That's what we say is, you know, it's already tough enough to be a teacher, but now you're putting more on them. And some districts won't compensate. They'll say, well, that's just part of your other duties assigned. You got to come in early and all that. And you just can't treat people that way. The next one is to just kind of show you what our comparison was this year with our region and state. If you look at Algebra 1, the first column is Texas, Region 7. And so this ought to make you feel good, and this is what I told the principals. This is some good data right here. Yes, our scores went down, but they don't look that bad when you really look at the big picture. And we've had a few people, I looked at so-and-so's, and we're way above so-and-so. Okay, well, I don't go over there and compare us to the neighbor next door. But this is concrete data that, hey, it's not as bad as it could be in the area. Biology. So remember, approaches is passing, so we're well above there. English 1, look at that, pretty good. English 2, still above. U.S. history, still above. Go to 3rd grade, math. We're still above in math. Come down here to reading, still above. 4th grade. 4th grade math, about 2 points. Reading, up 3 points. Writing, pretty much right there. We're ahead by about a point.
But the blue is the approaches, not
That is correct. Then meets and masters. So. Fifth grade math, state of Texas was 69, 74 in the region, we were 87. Reading, state of Texas was 72, region was 72, we were 93. Science, Texas, region, 86. 5th grade, we okay. Roll into 6th grade. 6th grade math, 84. Reading, we're ahead there. Now, yeah, I'm not going through the masters and the meets, but I'm just looking at the passing rate right now. Normally, if the passing rate's going to be higher, the rest of it's going to be higher too. 7th grade, same thing, math. Look at the state, 54%. 72 for us, reading, 79, writing, 72. 8th grade, math, 79, 19% higher than the state. 8th grade reading, 83, 84 in science, compared to 67 and 73. And in social studies, again, that's an area that we've struggled the last couple of years. Over a point down from the region. So we do have areas that we need to improve in, but when you really look at the overall picture, it's not as bad. Even when you look up here to me and you see all this red, this is Tatum ISD 2 years ago. We only dropped 4 points. We gained. That should be a gain. We dropped 5 points there. Dropped 3 points. And then you get into your math. 3rd grade, 4th grade, 4th grade, 4th grade. 5th grade math went down 7. I don't know if that should be a positive. Let's see. 5th grade reading, 88. Yeah, that should be a positive. We went up 5 points. Down 1 in 5th grade science. So when I look at that, to me, it's not as bad as it could be.
Probably with you, that's what we've had.
But it's not a 28% passing rate, 7th grade math. Either.
Right.
So,
And we had said, these models were set with high standards for an ideal year for what we expected.
so you should feel proud. We don't talk, y'all know I don't talk a lot about it, but especially at secondary level, wow, that's pretty good. We did real well there. So, that's all I got there. Next item that I have for action is our proposed tax rate and budget. We were supposed to do that tonight, but we did not get our certified values until after the deadline. It has to be posted 10 days. Tonight would have been the 9th day. So we had to move it back. And so we're going to have it for the August 19th meeting, and we had to put that in the paper at 5:30. So I'm going to recommend that in action.
So do I have a motion to approve changing the date for the public meeting for the purpose of discussing the proposed tax rate, and proposed budget to Thursday, August 19th, 2021?
Mr. President, I so move that we change the date of the public hearing on the tax rate.
Mr. Smith has made a motion. Ms. Adams, second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries.
Next item I have is requesting that we change our Fund 240 to add about $20,000 in our food service, just because we have additional school days this August. This will not be for the September 1st new budget that the board will be adopting, voting on the 19th. This is for this budget year. And so I'm asking that we just move 20,000 because we don't want to go under or over. You know, we don't want to go in the hole. We think we'll be fine, but I'm just recommending 20,000.
I need a motion to approve increasing the budget in Fund 2040, Function 35, in the amount of $20,000 to cover additional school days in August as presented.
Mr. President, I so move.
Swings, got a motion? Mr. Skinner, second. All those in favor, please. Motion carries.
Next item we have is nominee for Russ County Appraisal District Board of Directors. The following people, Drew Butler, Denny Eby, Clifford Harkless, Pat Corey, and Nisha Partain. We have 672 votes. The board will have a resolution here and utilize either all votes, or whatever the board pleases.
Mr. President, I move that we vote 673 votes to Clifford Harkins.
672.
Stay on one from somebody.
I have a motion to provide all the votes to Clifford Parkless. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Williams, second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Motion carries. The board will now convene in a closed meeting to discuss the following items posted on our agenda this morning as allowed by the Texas Government Code 551.074, resignations and employment of professional personnel. No voting will take place in the closed meeting. Any action the board wishes to take as a result of discussions in closed session will take place after the board reconvenes in an open meeting. It is now 5:53 p.m.
This morning. Yes.
Oh, okay.
We all know. No, you did right. She left morning on there. No, it's okay. We'll get some.
Make a mistake of